When the Texas blackout plunged millions into freezing darkness, families weren't just battling the cold, they were fighting hunger, thirst, and total isolation. Yet a handful of households stayed warm, fed, and safe. Not because they had expensive generators or military gear, but because they had a few simple products hiding in their homes right now. What I'm about to share isn't fancy, high-tech survival equipment. These are cheap, overlooked items you probably already own, and in the next crisis, they could mean the difference between comfort and catastrophe. Today, we're counting down 9 surprising products that might just save your life when everything else fails. Before we go any further, make sure you hit that subscribe button because the next crisis won't wait, and neither should your preparations. Number 1. Plastic wrap. Most people see plastic wrap as nothing more than a way to keep leftovers fresh. But in a survival scenario, this thin, transparent sheet can become an essential multi-purpose tool that protects food, gear, and even people. During the 2017 Puerto Rico hurricane aftermath, families who still had rolls of plastic wrap in their kitchens used them in ways that went far beyond the dinner table. Its primary strength is waterproof sealing. In blackouts or floods, plastic wrap can keep medical supplies, important documents, and electronics dry. Wrap it tightly around phones, flashlights, or matches, and you've got an instant water barrier without adding bulk or weight. In first aid, it works as an improvised wound covering. When placed over a clean bandage, plastic wrap locks out dirt and moisture, keeping the injury protected until proper care is available. Paramedics in field conditions have even used it to stabilize chest wounds by creating an airtight seal, buying valuable time until hospital treatment. For shelter insulation, plastic wrap is surprisingly effective. Applied in overlapping layers to windows, it traps air and reduces heat loss during winter storms. In summer, a layer on the outside can block rain from leaking into makeshift shelters while still letting in light. Cooking and food safety also benefit. In a blackout, you can wrap leftovers to prevent contamination from insects or dust, and even create airtight seals for improvised food storage jars. Wrapping utensils or bowls can also cut down on washing when water is scarce. A single roll costs just a few dollars, stores for years without degrading, and takes up minimal space in an emergency kit. In a crisis, that thin sheet of plastic might be the difference between spoiled supplies and secure survival. Number 2. Paper lunch bags. At first glance, paper lunch bags seem too ordinary to matter in an emergency. But when disaster strikes, these small, inexpensive bags can serve roles far beyond packing a sandwich. In fact, during rural power outages and camping evacuations, resourceful families have used them for food storage, fire starting, and even basic medical purposes. Their most obvious strength is lightweight food storage. In blackouts, you can portion dry goods like rice, beans, or nuts into paper bags for ration control. Mark each bag with the date and contents, and you've got a simple, organized system to stretch supplies without over-consuming. The breathable paper reduces condensation, which helps keep certain foods from going stale too quickly in humid conditions. When it comes to starting a fire, paper lunch bags are a game changer. They ignite quickly and burn long enough to catch kindling, even in damp environments. Stuff them with dry leaves, shredded paper, or cotton to create compact fire starter kits you can carry in your bug-out bag. Campers often pre-pack bags with tinder and keep them sealed until needed, ensuring dry ignition material during wet weather. In a pinch, paper lunch bags can act as drying containers for small items. Wet herbs, seeds, or foraged plants can be placed inside and hung in a dry, shaded spot. The bag absorbs excess moisture, speeding up the drying process without direct sun damage. They also have medical uses. When a child or adult experiences hyperventilation during panic or shock, breathing slowly into a paper bag can help restore normal CO2 balance. And in dusty environments, they can temporarily shield food or utensils from airborne debris. Best of all, paper lunch bags are cheap, biodegradable, and pack flat, taking up almost no space in your survival kit. A $2 pack of 50 bags could provide dozens of uses in a prolonged crisis, proving that sometimes the simplest items deliver the biggest survival returns. Number 3. Empty glass candle jars. Most people toss glass candle jars in the trash once the wax burns out. But in a survival situation, these thick, heat-resistant containers can become some of the most valuable storage and utility tools you have. During extended blackouts in the Northeast, families who kept their old candle jars discovered they could repurpose them for safe food storage, improvised lighting, and even cooking. The biggest advantage is durability. Candle jars are made from thick, tempered glass designed to handle heat, making them ideal for storing both hot and cold contents. In a crisis, you can pour boiling water, soups, or stews directly into a clean jar without worrying about cracking something many regular glass containers can't handle. For food preservation, they're excellent at keeping dry goods like rice, beans, and pasta safe from pests and moisture. The wide mouth allows easy scooping, while the tight-fitting lid, or even a DIY wax seal, keeps contents fresh for weeks or months. If you're short on refrigeration, a sealed candle jar can store cooked food in cool water or shaded areas, slowing spoilage. Lighting is another overlooked use. Fill a clean jar with vegetable oil, insert a wick, and you've got an improvised oil lamp that can burn for hours. The heat-resistant glass protects the flame from wind, making it safer for indoor or outdoor use. They also serve as secure containers for non-food items. Matches, batteries, first aid supplies, and even small electronics can be stored inside to protect them from water and dust. In flood-prone areas, adding a layer of wax around the lid can make the seal nearly waterproof. The psychological benefit shouldn't be ignored either. In dark, stressful environments, a repurposed candle jar lamp provides both light and a sense of normalcy. That small comfort can help maintain morale during long outages or shelter stays. Since they're essentially free once the candle is used up, there's no reason not to save them. Stack them in your pantry, emergency kit, or bug-out bag, and you'll have a supply of tough, reusable containers ready when you need them most. Number 4, spray paint. When most people think of spray paint, they imagine DIY projects or quick home repairs. But in a crisis, a simple can of spray paint can become one of the most effective communication, marking, and signaling tools in your survival arsenal. During the 2017 California wildfires, rescue teams and residents used spray paint to mark safe routes, warn others of hazards, and even signal aircraft, all with a few quick bursts of color. The primary survival advantage of spray paint is visibility. Bright colors like neon orange, yellow, or reflective white stand out against almost any background, making them perfect for marking safe entry points, escape routes, or danger zones. In large-scale evacuations, a quick arrow or symbol on a wall or road can direct others to safety when verbal communication isn't possible. Search and rescue teams have long used spray paint for rapid building marking after disasters. Symbols can indicate cleared, unsafe, or needs assistance, helping to coordinate efforts and prevent dangerous re-entry into unstable structures. In community-level crises, these same markings can help neighbors share critical safety information without relying on fragile digital networks. Spray paint also plays a role in signaling for help. Large letters or shapes painted on rooftops, pavement, or open ground can be seen from the air, increasing the chances of detection by helicopters or drones. In rural areas, a painted SOS on a high-visibility surface can mean the difference between rescue and being overlooked. Its practical uses don't end there. Spray paint can waterproof and protect gear by adding a quick layer over worn or exposed materials. It can also camouflage shiny or reflective surfaces on survival equipment when stealth is needed, or blend shelters into the environment for privacy. In urban survival situations, it can even be used to label and organize supplies quickly in dim light. Large, bold markings make items easier to locate under stress. For best results, store multiple colors in your kit, one high visibility for signaling and marking, and one darker tone for camouflage or gear identification. Number 5. Old toothbrushes. Most people throw away their toothbrushes every few months without thinking twice. But in a survival situation, these small, lightweight tools can become invaluable for cleaning, maintenance, and even first aid. During long-term power outages in rural communities, families who kept their old toothbrushes found dozens of uses that went far beyond dental care, some of them potentially life-saving. The most obvious benefit is precision cleaning. In a crisis, maintaining gear is just as important as storing it. A stiff old toothbrush can scrub dirt, rust, or grime from knife handles, multi-tools, firearm components, and cooking equipment. This prevents wear, preserves function, and reduces the risk of equipment failure when you need it most. In wet climates or after floods, removing moisture and debris from gear can mean the difference between usable tools and ruined ones. Old toothbrushes also shine in medical situations. They can gently clean around wounds or stitches, especially in hard-to-reach areas. In refugee camps and disaster shelters, aid workers have used sterilized toothbrushes to scrub fingernails and toenails, preventing infections in unsanitary conditions. Paired with soap or antiseptic solution, this simple act can stop minor injuries from becoming major threats. In the kitchen, they serve as compact scrubbers for cookware, water bottles, and food storage containers when water is limited. A toothbrush's bristles reach deep into corners and seams where bacteria can hide, crucial for preventing foodborne illness in survival scenarios. Their adaptability doesn't stop there. In mechanical repairs, a toothbrush can clear dirt from generator vents, bicycle gears, or vehicle battery terminals. In the field, they can clean camping stoves, lantern parts, and solar panel edges to keep them working at peak efficiency. Some survivalists even use them to apply lubricants or rust inhibitors in precise spots without wasting valuable supplies. For morale, they can still fulfill their original purpose: dental hygiene. In extended emergencies, brushing your teeth can lift spirits, freshen breath, and maintain health. Oral infections can be debilitating, and a clean mouth helps keep your immune system strong. The best part? They're free if you save them before throwing them out. Lightweight, compact, and endlessly reusable, old toothbrushes take up almost no space in a bug-out bag or emergency kit. Add a few to your supply cache, and you'll always have a small but powerful tool ready for jobs where nothing else fits. Number 6. Rope-making tool. Most people think of rope as something you buy pre-made from a hardware store. But in a real crisis, your supply can run out fast, and that's when a simple rope-making tool can turn scraps of cloth, twine, or plant fibers into strong, usable cordage. In coastal villages hit by cyclones, families with manual rope-making tools rebuilt fishing nets, secured shelters, and even created lifelines for flood rescues using nothing but salvaged materials. The survival advantage is obvious. Rope is one of the most versatile tools you can have. It's essential for shelter construction, gear repairs, hauling supplies, trapping, and even emergency rescues. But traditional rope eventually frays, breaks, or gets lost. With a rope-making tool, you can produce new cordage on demand, anywhere, without relying on supply chains. The process is simple. A manual rope-making tool uses hooks or clamps to twist strands together under tension, locking them into a strong, unified rope. This means you can recycle old clothing, tarps, fishing line, or even strips of plastic bags into something that can support significant weight. In field tests, handmade ropes from torn bedsheets have held over 200 pounds, more than enough for most survival needs. Its uses go beyond construction. In flood-prone areas, long ropes are essential for guiding people through swift water. On farms, rope secures livestock, bundles crops, or hangs tools. Hunters use cordage to suspend game during cleaning, while campers rely on it for tarps, hammocks, and cooking setups. A rope-making tool also adds barter value. In extended crises, strong rope becomes a tradable resource. Providing neighbors or other survivors with cordage could earn you food, fuel, or other essentials. Compact, lightweight, and often hand-powered, these tools require no electricity and take up little space in a survival kit. A sturdy model costs under $30, lasts for decades, and works with almost any fibrous material. In an emergency, it doesn't just save your gear, it gives you the ability to create one of survival's most fundamental resources from nothing. When disaster strips away convenience, the skill to make your own rope could keep your shelter standing, your supplies secure, and your family safe. Number 7. Tin can lids. Most people toss tin can lids straight into the trash without a second thought. But in a survival scenario, these small, flat pieces of metal can become surprisingly valuable tools. During extended blackouts in rural Alaska, families who saved their can lids found creative ways to turn them into cooking aids, signaling devices, and emergency repair materials, all from something most would consider garbage. One of the most obvious uses is as an improvised cutting tool. While a lid's edge may not match the sharpness of a knife, it's more than capable of slicing through soft materials like rope, fabric, or plant stems. In a pinch, you can sharpen the edge further by rubbing it on a rock, giving you a workable blade for small tasks. Tin can lids also excel at signaling. Their smooth, reflective surface can catch sunlight and flash it toward distant rescuers, similar to a purpose-made signal mirror. Even in cloudy conditions, they can reflect enough light to get attention from short to medium distances. In dense forest or urban rubble, hanging a lid from cordage where it can sway in the wind makes it more visible to search parties. In cooking, they can serve as makeshift spatulas, pot lids, or small grilling surfaces for lightweight foods like fish fillets or flatbread. Placed under pots on improvised stoves, they can also help diffuse heat and prevent scorching. For repairs, tin lids are surprisingly tough. Flatten them out and you have a patch for small holes in buckets, water containers, or even thin metal roofing. Paired with duct tape or wire, they can restore functionality to otherwise useless gear. They can also work in defensive setups, not as weapons, but as deterrents. Strung together on cordage, multiple lids create a rattling noise when disturbed, acting as a simple perimeter alert for campsites. Lightweight, rust-resistant, and essentially free, tin can lids take almost no space to store. A small stack in your emergency kit could give you a dozen improvised tools when you need them most. In survival, it's not always the fancy gear that saves you sometimes, it's the clever use of what's already in your hands. Number 8. Bath mugs. Most people see bath mugs, or plastic dippers, as nothing more than a simple bathroom accessory. But in a survival situation, this lightweight, durable item can play a critical role in storing, rationing, and transporting water, one of the most vital resources you'll ever need. The main advantage of a bath mug is precision. In an emergency, when every drop counts, pouring directly from a large bucket or container often leads to waste. A bath mug allows you to measure and control exactly how much water you use for drinking, cooking, or washing. In communities hit by drought, aid workers often distribute plastic dippers alongside water rations to help families make limited supplies last longer. Bath mugs are also excellent for collecting water from shallow sources where larger containers won't fit. You can scoop from small streams, puddles, or rain catchments and transfer the water to your main storage without spilling. In hygiene, they become essential for bathing when running water is unavailable. By using a dipper instead of a full shower, you can wash thoroughly while using just a fraction of the water. The same applies for cleaning dishes or rinsing clothes during blackouts. Their durability makes them reliable in rough conditions. Unlike glass or metal, plastic mugs won't break or rust, and they're light enough for children to carry, making them useful in family evacuations. Costing just a few dollars and stacking easily inside other gear, bath mugs deserve a spot in every emergency kit. When the taps run dry and water becomes precious, this humble tool can help you stretch your supply and your survival much further than you thought possible. Number 9. Reflective safety vests. In a survival situation, visibility can mean the difference between rescue and being overlooked. Reflective safety vests, often worn by construction workers and traffic crews, are one of the cheapest yet most effective ways to make sure you're seen day or night. During the 2014 Balkan floods, volunteers and stranded residents used reflective vests to identify themselves to rescue boats in heavy rain and low light. The bright fluorescent fabric stands out in daylight, while reflective strips shine brightly under headlights, flashlights, or searchlights, making you visible from long distances. For roadside emergencies, especially during evacuations, wearing a reflective vest dramatically reduces the risk of accidents. Whether changing a tire, directing traffic, or walking along a dark road, it alerts drivers before they're too close. In group survival scenarios, color-coded vests can help organize roles, one color for medics, another for security, another for supply runners. This speeds up coordination and keeps everyone safer. Lightweight, waterproof, and costing just a few dollars, a reflective vest fits easily in a glove box, backpack, or emergency kit. It requires no maintenance and works in all weather conditions. When visibility matters most in storms, at night, or in chaotic evacuations, a reflective safety vest ensures you're not just another shadow in the dark. At the end of the day, survival isn't just about having the right gear, it's about making sure you and the people you love are safe, seen, and protected when everything else turns to chaos. A simple reflective vest can mean the difference between being spotted in time or not at all. That's how thin the line can be. If you've been watching this and thinking, I'll get around to it, remember, disasters don't send invitations. They strike without warning, and the window to prepare closes faster than most people realize. So here's my challenge to you. Take one small step today. Add a reflective vest to your kit, your car, and your home. And while you're here, hit that subscribe button because every week we uncover simple, overlooked tools and strategies that could save your life when the unthinkable happens. The worst time to start learning is when you're already in the middle of a crisis. Don't wait until it's too late. Prepare now, stay ahead, and make sure when the lights go out, you're the one people can find. Stay safe, stay ready, and I'll see you in the next video.